Have you ever felt like things can't get any better? Like you're at the absolute lowest point in your life and things can't get any worse and you just have no clue what to do, have no clue how to keep going. You're just like, I'm done. I give up. I quit. There's nothing more that I can do. I've been there. I've been there several times. I have been there several times. And how is that possible? If I was at the very lowest, worst part and things just couldn't get any worse, have I been there so many times? Or maybe, like, okay, I felt like I just needed to give up. Like, I'm done with all this. I'm throwing the towel in. I'm throwing in the flag. And guess what? Things did get worse. Like, I thought things couldn't get any worse, and things got worse. And then they got worse, and then they got worse. Oh my gosh, how much worse can it get? I can't take anymore. I'm done. Right? Have you ever felt like that? Like, I can't. Can't anymore. I'm done. What do? There's a lot of different things you can do. You can probably, I think, the easiest thing to do in that situation is to curl up in a ball, stay in the bed, turn out the lights, and just like mope. I quit. I'm done. I think one of the hardest things to do is to keep fighting, to keep going, to be like, I don't see how this is possibly going to get, any better, but I'm still going to try. That's probably the hardest thing to do in that situation. Which situation do you think has a better outcome? Which situation do you think has a better chance at possibly getting better? Curling up in a ball and just, crying your problems away? Or making yourself get up and get out of bed, making yourself take a shower, making yourself say, you know what, life sucks, this is hard, but I'm still gonna go to work. Or let's say you don't have a job, let's say you lost your job. You know what, I am still gonna try to find a job. I'm gonna keep searching. Let's say you've been searching for a long time for a job and you're not getting callbacks, or you're getting callbacks and you're not getting hired. You're getting the interview and then you're not getting hired. Or, let's say it's not work related. Let's say it's, I don't know, school or your friends. Oh my gosh, all my friends hate me. Like, I don't know what's going on here. I know someone that had a situation where, like, all of a sudden, like, all her whole little friend group was like, kicked her out of the group, and she was really upset about it. She was like, what happened was, they were in this whole like text group and they were texting and different things like that. And you guys, you got to be careful with your text. You really have to be careful with text, because here's the thing. You can say one sentence, and depending on how you say it, people will hear that you're joking, you're being sarcastic, you're being funny, or you're being serious. But when you text, people don't get that. They don't get the funny or the sarcastic or any of that out of a text. They take it how they take it. And she had sent like some text, like they were all texting. She sent some text. They took it, the wrong way, and just started like, what's it called? Roasting. Just started like roasting her, and made her really upset. And I was like, look, it'll be okay. Just let it die down and things will be fine in a few days. Well, and they were fine. But she had to go a little while sad and unsure of what lied ahead, right? Like, was she still going to have these friends or not? Did she even still want these friends based on like the roasting and what they were saying and things like that? Like, did she even really want them to be her friend? I mean, you never know. Like, there's all these different things. But, at that point in time, she felt like she was at the lowest, right? She was like, I have no friends now. All my friends are gone. Going back to the job thing, I have no job. How am I going to make money or support myself or my family, or buy food, whatever. There's so many different things that can make us feel like we are just at the lowest point in our lives. It can even be the loss of someone very close to us. How am I going to live without this person? And what do? Do we just mope and be sad and just stop like everything else that we're doing? Or do we continue to fight? Let me tell you right now, and I know it's hard to do, but you have to continue to fight. Here's the thing. The world does not stop for you. Time does not stop for you. It does not stop. If you're at the age where you have bills, you're still going to get those bills. They're not going to stop for you. So you cannot stop looking for a job. You cannot stop going to work because you're sad or you're depressed. You have to continue. If it's, like friends or something like that, okay, don't keep texting them, but, give them a couple of days. You continue with your business. You continue doing whatever it is you need to do. You go to school if you're in school. You go to work if you're at work. You continue doing the things you need to do, even if you're sad doing it. But it's just, the world does not stop for anyone. So do not stop. You cannot throw in the towel completely. In those situations, most of those situations, that could be a good time for you to reevaluate what's going on. Reevaluate your situation, your scenario, what's around you, what's going on. Look at your goals. You have got to have goals, guys. You have to have goals. And you need goals that are attainable. You need goals where, you need a goal for today. You need a goal for the week. You need a goal for the month, the year, the next 5 years. You need goals. And you need to work towards those goals. Having goals, creating goals, working towards those goals, creating a plan to meet those goals, that helps you. When you achieve those goals, it gives you confidence in yourself. It also helps you to attain things that you want to attain. And it gives you something to work for. It gives you purpose. It, helps you to see that there is more to this than just being here. And that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic. But, there have been so many times where we have felt like we just need to throw in the towel. And, unfortunately, I knew a kid in school, actually in high school. I was friends with their sibling, and they did throw in the towel. And I didn't really know them. Like I said, I was friends with their sibling. But it really affected the sibling. We don't realize how much impact we have on other people's lives. We may sit there and think, oh, I just can't do this anymore. It's just too hard. There's too much. It's just too much for me. You don't realize, though, that, you are important. You're important to at least one more person. And more than likely, you're important to more than one more person. And your choices do have an impact on others. Your choices have an impact on others. The way that you live your life impacts others. The decisions you make, it all does impact someone else. And so we have to be cognizant of that and not selfish. We need to know it is not just me here. Let's say you live alone. You're older, you live alone in your own home. All your bills are just your bills. They're in your name. And you're like, but it is just me. You know, I'm single, I'm alone, I don't have any kids, it's just me. That's great. Guess what? There is someone that cares about you. And, you know, your choices do impact them. Maybe not financially, but they do, maybe emotionally. And emotions can really have an impact on people. If you care about someone, you know, and you see them making bad choices, it can affect you. You know, you're always worried about them. You're distracted because you're thinking about them. You're, you know, oh man, I really hope that things work out for this person. I really wish they would stop doing these things, or I wish they would start doing those things, or I wish they'd quit hanging out with that person, or I wish they'd get away from that person, or, you know, just, I mean, all sorts of things. Your decisions do impact other people. So just like try to be cognizant of that and know that there are people that care, even if you don't see that. Like there are people that care about you and that love you. And, you know, like I said, I mean, I've wanted to okay, like I was unemployed for a little while, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna quit looking for jobs. Sorry, my thing was cutting off. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna quit looking for jobs. I'm done, right? Because no one's calling me back. And guess what I did? I created my own job. I was like, at the time, my scheduling was kind of like weird. Like, I was like, I really can't. And I was I was getting callbacks for jobs, but they were like far away. They were like an hour plus away, and I was like, I was done with that. I've done the whole hour-long commute for like 10 years. And I was like, no, I don't want anything that far away. So I created my own job. I started my own business in the field that I was really, really good at, and did that for a while. And guess what? It paid bills. It was, you know, good for me. And guess what? It pushed me to start my own business, which was something that I really wanted to do. But not getting local callbacks pushed me to do that. So instead of me moping, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get a job close to home and I'm going to be stuck commuting for the rest of my life, this is just terrible. Instead of doing that, I thought, I will start my own business. And that's what I did. And it worked out for a while. I'm tired of it now. So I'm actually more than likely shutting it down pretty soon. But I had my own business for 7 years. That's pretty good, right? I'm just tired of being the like CEO over all of that stuff. I'm tired of it. And I'm bad at delegating. I don't trust people very well. I've had too many people that I've had to go behind and fix things for. And so I'm just like, I'm ready to not have to do all of that. So that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But do you see, like, instead of throwing in the towel and just being like, well, this stinks, I'm gonna be stuck driving an hour away to work every day again and losing 2 hours of my family time because I'm gonna be stuck in traffic commuting. Instead of doing that and moping about it, I started my own business. So there's lots of different things that you can do. You do not have to throw in the towel and be like, I'll just settle for what I'm getting. You don't have to settle. Don't take that the wrong way. You do need to do whatever you need to do in order to support yourself. So if we're talking about money again and finances and jobs, let's say I didn't start my own business. Yeah, I would have ended up taking that 2-hour commute, because I actually have before. I've actually had a 2-hour one-way commute. I did that for 6 months. I drove 2 hours to work in the morning and I drove home 2 hours at night. And the schedule was crazy. I would go in at like 9 a.m. and get off at like 7 p.m. So like the whole day was gone. I hated it so much. I loved the job, loved the people, but it was just like my whole entire day was work and driving. So, but I did that for 6 months. And it was a contract job. And when they offered me full time, I turned it down. But during that 6-month period, you know, I was able to keep, you know, paying my bills and all that kind of stuff. But I knew that was not something that could be permanent for me. So that's when I started working on opening my business. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to open my own business. That way I can set my own hours. I can work where I want, when I want. And, you know, that's what I'm going to do. And guess what? That's what I did. So I got out of that, you know, my contract ended at that 6-month mark. They understood completely. They were like, I totally get it. I know. And I was kind of letting it out there. Like the last month that I was with them, I was like, y'all, this drive is just really killing me. It's really putting a toll on me and stuff. Like I was kind of hinting to them. And I was really hoping that my contract would just end, which is why I kept kind of throwing those hints out there. Like, y'all, this commute is just unreal. I can't keep doing this. And, but they still offered it. But they understood because I had hinted around several times. Like, I can't do this forever. But yeah, so I did what I needed to do. I made that 2-hour commute until I was able to get my business going to where I had something to fall back on. So when they offered me the position, I was able to turn it down because I had already started my business, and I had a client with my business. And then once I had that free time, no longer, driving 4 hours a day and working 8 hours a day, now with that free time, I was able to grow my business even more because now I'm able to, I have that client, so I have some income, but now I'm able to focus more on getting more clients. So you just have to things can be tough and things can be hard, and you can want to throw in the towel and you can want to just be like, I am so done with this. But, we get these trials, tribulations, challenges to make us stronger, to push us into whatever direction we're supposed to go. And sometimes that's not clear. Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we move in the wrong direction. And, sometimes we move in the right one. And a lot of times we don't see that in the beginning. We don't see that right then. It's not that clear. And then several years down the road, maybe we don't even see it. Maybe somebody else tells us. Maybe they see it and we don't realize it. But, maybe that thing had to happen in order for this new thing to occur. Maybe that 2-hour commute had to happen to push me into going towards a goal that I'd had since I was 18. I wanted to be a business owner. My father was a business owner. I wanted to own my own business. Never tried it, never pursued it. But then something forced me to move forward with it. So, you just never know. But no matter what, never throw in the towel. That's not the right choice. Never just lay down and say, I'm just going to sleep all day and give up on today because I'm sad. Boo-hoo. Get over it. Suck it up. Wipe away your tears. Get your booty out of the bed, wash your face, get dressed, and go do something. And I'm very big on that. You've got to get up and you've got to get ready in the morning, even if you don't have plans. Because if you don't get up and you don't get ready in the morning, you're not going to get nothing done. You're not going to get nothing done, okay? Let's just be real. Very rarely would we. Me personally, I'm talking about myself. If I just get up late, stay in my stay in my PJs all day and just kind of slum it, y'all, I have no motivation that day. The day is just, I'm set to fail that day. So, but if I get up in the morning and I, take my shower, put on my makeup, put on my clothes, get all ready, even if I have no plans for that day, I just feel so much better and I'm just ready. And if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Let that stick with you. I saw that a while back and I was like, man, that is so true. I have it on one of my computers. I was looking now to see if it's not any of these though. But think about that, and then I'm going to end this video because it's too long again. Y'all, I could talk forever. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So what I mean by that is there have been times when I have experience in something, I have knowledge in it, I have a background in it and that expertise was needed, but I hadn't sharpened those skills in a while. And so I wasn't 100% ready. I had to go back and review. I had to go back and work on sharpening those skills. I wasn't ready when the opportunity was there. The gym, I used to work out a lot just to stay like fit and tone. Then I kind of got out of that, and I was requested for something that required me to have some tone and a little bit of definition, and I was not able to do it because the timing in which they needed me to be tone and fit for it, there was no way that I was going to be able to get there in that time frame, and I had to turn it down. And I was very sad. It's very sad. But if I had stayed ready, if I'd continued going to the gym and working out, I would have been tone. And when they called me and they said, hey, we would like to have you come work on this movie with us, and you know, you're going to be portraying this character, I would have been like, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm so excited. And I'm ready because I'm tone and I'm there. And yeah, I wasn't. And so I lost it. So, you know, that's just an example. But just, you've got to stay ready. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And life is so much easier that way because you don't have to prepare as much because you're already prepared for anything. All right. Bye, guys.